This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is Jam DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Oh, it's gonna be a hot one tonight. Oh, many of you out there have failed the fandom. Is it you? Stay tuned and find out. Welcome back to the Capes and Lunatics, episode 172. I am Phil. Joining me as always, the master of the stash from New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa. Welcome once again.
And she who drinks alone, at least for the next couple weeks. It is.
Hey, it's Lilith Hellfire. I'm not alone. You guys are here.
Well, we're not drinking alcohol.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, that's what I said. You're drinking alone.
Yeah.
I'm drinking for two for Charlie.
Yes, she is.
No, she's no. I was gonna say no. She's not pregnant, people.
Yeah. And Phil says he's not drinking anything, but you know, it's always a
I
rather.
noticed it's a black water bottle. It's not clear. It's a suspect.
Yeah.
Oh, it's metal. You'll never know. Oh, I think.
Yeah, it's
Well, I was thinking I may invest in one of those
pure uncut energon.
I'm thinking I may invest in one of those nifty Capes and Lunatics coffee mugs, which you could also purchase. Just go to our Linktree link in the show.
Oh my God! Shut up, Phil.
Just go to our link.
It's too early in the show for your crap, Philip.
Let the man
Shameless
show.
plugs go at the end. Shameless plugs go at the end. Have I taught you nothing?
Man, fine. I gotta take my shirt off.
Only if you have a tank top on. You know the rules.
Maybe my hair will look like enough of a tank top. Anyway, yes. So
She doesn't like men nipples.
Fine. Let's get some female nipples in here. Anyway,
Nobody tell Rob.
I think he knows women have nipples.
Nobody tell Rob.
Everybody has nipples. I want a mammal. Everybody. I want a mammal. I'm that kind
Why
of
do we have these drops? Why?
I'm that kind of freak.
Hey, Lilith, calm down.
Suck it, Miller.
Alright.
All right. Anyway, so yes. Well, there wasn't a whole lot of news, but
It was enough.
there was a few reviews. I have to admire people's restraint because yes, New Mutants did come out in theaters actually this weekend. And I think it was Newsarama I was reading. They said, yeah, there's really not many, there's really no reviews from America for it, because Corona, but like most of the reviews are coming from like overseas where they like almost have this thing under control.
Yeah.
And the reviews are kind of,
Yeah. Well, it was going to be, it's an afterthought. It was, and then we also got this for free.
Yeah, but it's like
this was basically a giveaway.
Yeah, but it's like how many reshoots in 4 years to get meh?
That's not true. From what I hear, that was all lies.
What?
The
Oh,
reshoots were lies.
oh okay.
Or they didn't use the reshoots. That's what I've been hearing.
What is so? What this
From
is?
very reliable sources.
So what's in the theaters may be the original work?
Pretty much.
It's the Snyder Cut.
Don't even get that started.
No, well,
So
I
I
mean,
find it very interesting that it was all these. It's kind of like the Artemis Fowl thing. It's like, okay, whatever, Disney. We see you. We get it. We get it.
So, does anyone know who Odysseus Georgiadis is?
Oh, is that the Sunspot actor?
No, that's not the Sunspot actor.
No, his name is Henry
Sunspot
Zaga.
actor.
That's Henry
Yes.
Zaga.
Yeah. So but it's weird because it's like, okay, I searched for Henry. Well, I searched for New Mutants Roberto actor, and I get Henry Zaga right up at the top. And I got someone by the name of Blue Hunt, Charlie Heaton, Josh Boone, who may also be in the New Mutants film. I don't know. But then
I think
there's this jumping guy.
Old man.
Well, wait, is Josh Boone the? I thought that was that.
Odysseus.
Is that the director?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. And I get this person, Odysseus Georgiades. He appears to be some sort of an actor, and he looks exactly like Roberto's supposed to look like. So I don't know if someone said, I was reading something with the director, and the director said, I wanted this person to be a real Brazilian, And
I
found the
he's supposed to be Afro-Brazilian, which is literally like 70% of Brazil, but whatever.
Well, the cringe. Well, the cringe-worthy quote, I believe, is he said Roberto's supposed to be, come from money, and he was like, I cast someone I thought looked like they came from money, so he cast the light-skinned Brazilian.
Look, exactly. So I don't know if he's getting canceled or not, but maybe he needs a sensitivity course. I don't know. Maybe he needs to go to college and take some studies classes. I don't know.
The thing about that is that, yes, Roberto comes from money, but it's his dad's money, not his mom's money. His mom was white. His mom was, light-skinned Brazilian.
I mean, I think is that what they're saying? It's a light-skinned kid. It's a light-skinned kid coming from a light-skinned family. Is that what he was trying to say?
Yeah, except his family isn't light-skinned.
Yeah.
His mother's light-skinned.
In the movie?
He doesn't know how genetics work, which I don't think
in the comics.
Well,
I haven't seen the movie. I don't know what the movie's supposed to be. Because I was reading up on his... Because I've only known his father. But apparently his mom was a light-skinned Brazilian lady. And in the comics. And his dad was, your traditional Afro-Brazilian guy who, has a whole empire that he runs. And Roberto was his son. And he's a mutant, and he's got the cool sunspot powers. And, I mostly know him from when he was in U.S. AIM, when, he bought AIM and became a good guy and all that or made AIM become a good guy. It was a good story. U.S. AIM, it was a great series. But, yeah, that's Roberto, and he's cool. Odysseus Georgiades, like I said, he's got the curly. That is a thing for me too. Is this kid has like freaking straight hair? Roberto's got like a Jerry curl. I mean, he's got curly hair, and I don't know if I go along with this. And
that's why I was streaming it for free, my friend.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I was that interested in it anyway. But like I said, I mean, it's
poor Maisie Williams. Justice for You know what? Justice for Sophie Turner too, because they had her playing Jean Grey in a effed up movie as well. So justice for my Stark girls. Damn it.
Yeah, well, it is unfortunate.
Get a better agent, baby dolls. Get a better agent.
Let's be honest. This was a Fox mutant film.
Which is why I said get a better agent.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
Well, I mean, and two, this was a Fox film coming from a dying X-Men universe. Yeah,
you're gonna need an agent that does their homework and gets you better roles. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know season 8 of Game of Thrones wasn't the best, but I'd rather watch that than watch anything post X-Men 2 in that Fox mutant universe. Just saying.
Even Logan?
Logan wasn't horrible.
Cash grab, tearjerker. It was all right.
What about Deadpool?
I don't really count him in that. He's his own little niche thing. Because they're not recasting Ryan Reynolds. They're not.
I'm just waiting for Charlie to say it's in continuity. They were in X-Men 2.
No, it's fine. He can jump continuity. That's his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Not for nothing, like the mutants, that was like a whole other group of mutants. That was like the McAvoy mutants.
He doesn't jump continuity. He makes
McAvoy mutants. I love it. I'm keeping it.
He doesn't.
That's how we're designating it.
He doesn't jump continuity. He makes witty social commentary about the continuity. Come on.
He can time travel.
Someone's stretching his witty as a bar too far, as a bridge too far.
Well, depending on the writer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
anyway.
New Mutants, man. I was bummed. Like, it's not as bad as I thought. It's not as bad as it could be as the reviews that I'm getting, but...
Well, I mean, I'm sure
it's the Artemis Fowl deal. It's like, they didn't put in much effort, and they really screwed the pooch on the story.
So does this take place at Essex House? What's the storyline? Do we got an Emma Frost Hellions thing? Can we have Emma Frost be a bad
wish.
guy for once? I mean, that was nice. I like when Emma Frost was like the evil Charles Xavier and had her own team of like mutants in pink.
Here, come here, gather around, kids. We're about to get some tales from Lilith Hellfire's Tales from the Dark Web.
Yes.
Hellfire Club, you know what I'm saying.
Oh!
Yeah, but so that's that thing. Somebody might get salvaged. Probably not this Naga kid, or they'll recast Naga as somebody else. They'll say, no, we'll give the kid a job. We just not with one of those films.
I don't know. I can't wait to see it though. I got to drink a little more after we get off.
Might make a nice young Victor Von Doom. He's a handsome man. I won't say he's not a handsome man. So.
I just want Wonder Woman 2 to come out so I don't have to watch any more movies for the rest of the year. Like, that's my last movie for the year, bro. I don't care about anything else until January.
You're not going to watch Black Widow?
Why you going to put me on the spot like that? I really don't want Scarlett Johansson.
but
she's not been a fan of Scarlett Johansson for a while now.
Yeah, but this
really watch
this is going to be her swan song, Lilith. This is going to be, maybe she gets killed. You don't know.
Just like Tony Stark got killed.
I'm assuming I might have to watch the movie for one of our stupid podcasts that we do. So, like I said, the last movie that I care about is Wonder Woman 84 for the year.
Man, how bad is it going to be if that's a disappointing film?
What?
See, okay, here's the thing. I don't think Wonder Woman 84 is going to be disappointing at all. I think they should have released it when they were supposed to release it, and then they would have made their freaking money back. But, DC, not the best in decisions.
Yeah, but the theater...
I'm just going to say Cheetah did not look well.
Well, that's one guy's opinion. I've heard great things about Kristen Wiig. I've seen great things.
But that's
No, Kristen Wiig, I thought it was great.
Do you mean the CGI?
The CGI. Look.
I've seen worse.
I mean, it's 2 seconds. I mean, it's like 2 seconds.
No.
Yeah, but it's 2 seconds. It's 2 seconds from a trailer too. I mean, I'd at least give it a.
Like I said, I've seen worse in a Marvel film, so you can just.
It's 2 seconds from a trailer that they had 4 months to get better. So
I've seen worse in a full-fledged Marvel film and not a trailer. So
and that's fine.
Keep it moving.
I don't know. We will see. I mean, I got hopes for it. It's going to be sad to watch
the first Wonder Woman, so I'm defending it. Like what?
Yeah, I mean,
it was one of the better DC movies, though.
That's not a high bar.
I know, but still,
let's not pretend like it's a high bar.
Yeah.
Very easy to do. All you had to do was actually have some lights in the damn movie, a little more comedy. No upskirt shots on Wonder Woman, and there you go.
Goodbye, Josh Whedon.
Also, I don't know how I feel about her using her lasso like Spider-Man. To like just lasso things and swing on it. Either let her fly or give her an invisible jet. I think the whole whips the lasso and swings on stuff, it just seems like it's a lot of work.
What about like Hulk leaps?
I'd love Hulk leaps.
She can technically do it, so.
Yeah, heck, what's her name? Linda
I
Carter
thought it was an
interesting
change of pace to make the lasso more dynamic than just, tie somebody up in a, haha, isn't this a funny BDSM? You get it?
Yeah.
That's just my thing as a Wonder Woman fan. I'm glad that they found it a dynamic way.
I'm fine with the lasso doing things. Heck, they can make it as animated as freaking Doctor Strange's cloak, Have a little mind of its own.
Whoa. A bridge too far.
I'm just saying.
Hello, real power today.
I liked Clokey. Clokey was fun. No, Clokey, Doctor Strange's cloak.
No, not the Asgardian, the piece of cloth.
No, he said Loki. Although I liked Loki too.
Loki, Clokey.
So yeah, like I said, Wonder Woman 84, last movie that I have to care about, last DC thing I have to care about ever, probably. So.
Okay. As a former DC fan, Lilith Hellfire, I mean, we recorded last Friday, so we recorded before Fandome. What did you watch all the trailers that came out?
Of
course. I figured.
I did my research for the podcast, Philip.
So after Wonder Woman 84. What's the next thing you hold out hopes for on
Nothing.
Absolutely
freaking okay, no, I take it back. Shazam 2.
Okay.
Not Black Adam. Shazam 2, because Black Adam's gonna be a disaster. Hashtag off the rock bandwagon in 4 minutes.
Did they have trailers for either of those or no? No, those are still on the drawing board.
Actually, the script is almost finished on Shazam 2. Oh, wait. Never mind. Nothing.
Well, they had it.
That's fine.
At Fandome, they had like a teaser thing for Black Adam, didn't they?
Oh,
they had his costume reveal, which looked like garbage.
Oh!
Oh, there you go.
I've seen better things in a WWE wrestling promo, so just not here for it.
Yeah, well, there's lots of love in WWE wrestling promos.
Let me tell you something.
And you know, the presentation, like, I should preface this, in the 80s, where it's really super cheesy. Yeah. I mean, fun to love, but it was cheesy. You have to admit that.
Yeah. You know, I didn't see it, so I can't really say.
But no hopes for the Batman.
I'm sorry.
Y'all know I'm on the Bat bandwagon. I love Robert Pattinson as an actor, and I wasn't even a Twilight fan. I'm a Harry Potter fan, former Harry Potter fan.
I mean, in that trailer, it was a quick shot, but they had him there with Gordon and the cops at a crime scene, so maybe
it looks good.
Are we actually going to...
does.
I know, it looks like, he's working with the cops.
And they pulled from the Arrowverse because he has the smudge mascara, so, there you go.
I like that.
So are we actually going to get some Detective Batman in a live-action movie,
have
finally?
Emo Detective Batman.
I don't care. As long as he does...
I like that they pulled the I Am Vengeance line. It was some nice little things. I'm liking that they're taking Riddler more serious. But it's Matt Reeves and he's a train wreck, so, fingers crossed that everything works out, but...
Why is he punching all those juggalos, though? That's one thing I didn't quite get.
And some juggalos deserve it. Let's just be honest, not all juggalos.
Although I tell you, I imagine... See, because we get the scene where he's wailing on the juggalo, well, the head juggalo, and I get the feeling that's like a cut scene where it stops because he's spending way too much beating up that guy. I think those other 10 guys are going to jump him, beat the heck out of Batman, and cover him in Faygo. And that's going to make... I believe that's how
shooting this in Detroit? Because that would be perfect.
It would be perfect. Hey, juggalos are a nationwide phenomenon. It's not...
I know, but Faygo, just to give the Faygo plant a little bit of extra work.
Yeah, but just the idea that, I could see, he tries to beat up these guys, gets his old vengeance going, and then realizes, oh wait, the goon has other goons, and kind of to show that learning curve of Batman. How do you, and maybe even learn that I shouldn't solve all my problems with my fists. Maybe I got to outthink people, and so that's my thing. That's my big belief about that scene. If that happens, I'm going to be very happy. If it doesn't, I'll be like, well, okay, that was to be expected. It's a scene where, one guy's getting into a fight and everybody else just waits patiently for their turn.
I'll tell you my favorite part of the trailer is when he's walking in and you see his boots and they're just those basic tactical boots that you get at the Army freaking surplus. And I was just like, I don't know. It just that was funny to me.
You're basic.
Dr. Martin.
He's still trying to figure it out, so it's just kind of like, I don't want it to be Batman Begins, but it's, more of a Batman Year One kind of vibe. Yeah. It's a difference. It's, you know.
The Riddler vibe is very different.
I feel like they've taken some things from Gotham, the TV show. In terms of Penguin, making him more menacing and calculating and like a serious threat. So that's fun.
I want Detective Batman. I want riddle solving. I want a very street level Batman.
We're getting Court of Owls, so it's kind of obvious.
I know.
Here's what I really want to say.
We might be doing that whole the Waynes weren't as good as we think we might get the baby eating freaking storyline finally. We might get it.
It's been 3 weeks.
Don't get that rich not eating babies. That's all I'm saying. Here's what I will say. I am really hoping that they do bring in Richard Kind as Mayor James, and it's revealed that Richard Kind is actually Cobblepot's brother, like maybe like his estranged half brother. But that's sort of
imagine paying all that Colin Farrell money just to make him look like freaking Richard Kind with prosthetic. Imagine, DC, you are an absolute train wreck.
But there's got to be a reason for it, and I just the idea that put Richard, because he's in the Gotham universe. He is a DC. He's on the DC short call list. Put him in there as Mayor James, and just have it be like, yeah, of course that's how Penguin is able to amass his situation because he gets his hands dirty and his brother
And it would
smiles
also
for the
explain why he
cameras.
wanted to be mayor so bad, too. It's a sibling rivalry. There we go. We figured it out.
There we go.
Why did
Mayor
they hire us?
I mean, if
Like,
they're
I work for relatively cheap. Not skilled, but slightly above.
hey, you heard it here first, folks. Will Hellfire's cheap. Anyway, no, I mean, if we can't have Richard Kind as whoa. Anyway, if they can't have Richard Kind as mayor and you want to do an Easter egg, how about some Billy D. Williams?
Oh, Billy D.
Justice for Billy D. Hells yeah.
Hey, he's available for work, you know.
Exactly.
He's still alive, as we like to say whenever we talk about an actor we love. He's still alive.
They didn't let him go full Two-Face.
Wait, 2020's been a son of a bitch, so let's just check that real quick.
I mean, they didn't let him go full
Yeah, check on
Two-Face.
Billy D. and Betty White.
Give him the mayor's office.
4 more months, yeah. Although if we're lucky, they say there's a meteor in November.
Right before Election Day, because we deserve it. Just let it land right in the middle of the United States. I don't even care.
The aliens are waiting to see how things go.
Fingers crossed.
Anywho's.
4 more months till
But
Christmas.
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the Batman trailer.
You know what was the best thing at Fandome? Was the Wonder Woman panel where freaking Linda Carter comes out and just gushes all over Gal Gadot. Like, it was just so adorable, and I just love seeing that kind of passing of the torch. I just wish they would have made room for her in the first film. That's all. That was like mainly what I was so bitter and salty about. Like, how dare you?
You know, they should have her be Hera in this. Or Artemis. I can go either way. But I would love her to be Hera and actually be,
But we are, if Wonder Woman
my
84
brother and my
does
husband are
good,
kind of jerks, I know, but
we are getting the Amazon movies, so fingers crossed for that.
She should have been Diana's mother.
That's what I said. Because they do have a passing resemblance if you squint them out.
yeah, well, actually, and if nothing else, they both have dark hair, instead of all the blonde Amazons for some reason.
Well, it was what it was.
Yeah, and actually, that is weirdly enough, that is actually traditional in the comics that there are a lot of blonde Amazons. So,
which makes her stick out.
Yes, that's because she was made of dirt.
If only we could go back to that. If only.
Yeah, no. Hey, at least Hercules isn't her dad.
Yea, verily.
That's another universe. But anyway,
But and then did anyone see the trailer for the Suicide Squad?
Ratcatcher 2, baby. Ratcatcher 2. And that's all you need to know about that damn movie. That's how far we're digging for characters. And the only person I'm excited for is Polka Dot Man.
I was going to say, Polka Dot Man? You talking about digging.
I like the actor, and I like Polka Dot Man. I like a nice throwback, noir kind of vibe for Suicide Squad. So, but it's James Gunn. I don't really like him. So,
I gotta say, I'm worried. Here's the thing. I don't know if Taika Waititi is the right guy for King Shark after Ron Funches. Also, I think giving a New Zealand accent to King Shark is a little on the nose. It's like when they give them Australian accents, call him Bruce. It's like it's a little. Not every shark has to be from the greater Zealand area.
What the F?
Yeah, so I don't know. I really fell in love with Ron Funches as King Shark. I think Ron Funches is a great King Shark, especially if you're not going to go full on, evil monster King Shark. Like if you want to give him like a fun, light vibe, and then get someone other than Ron Funches, I think it's gonna grate on some people.
It's the only part that I would have said they should have cast Jason Momoa for. There, I said it. Hashtag fight me.
I mean,
see, now there, I could say, I could totally see Jason Momoa as King Shark. And then
this is why they should have called me. That's all I'm saying.
I would love to see a King Shark versus Jason Momoa Aquaman, and they're both the same voice, but it's like, the two, it's like the Patty Duke show.
Battle with the douche.
I could see that. I could totally get behind that, But I mean, I'm sure Taika Waititi will bring a lot of joy to it if he is who's actually in it, because they say he's in a secret role. I would, it'd be kind of interesting if actually the guy who is the mocap actor actually does the voice too. I think that would be awesome since you had a guy
Who do you think he is? Andy Serkis? He's busy being freaking Alfred right now.
Yeah. Well, no, but they got a guy there. He's got the whole King Shark head on. They had him at the panel, you know.
And
they had him sit on the panel, you know. I don't want this poor guy to be the Darth Vader of Suicide Squad.
And of course,
somebody's got to be it.
And of course, it's a James Gunn movie, so of course Michael Rooker's in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm not excited about Suicide Squad. I just feel like that doesn't need to be a movie. I think they do better job with the animated stuff because they're allowed to get away with so much more.
And Lilith, talk about digging Idris Elba's Bloodsport.
Because Will Smith said,
Now, for what it's worth, they have Margot Robbie.
Yep.
They didn't want to pay for another Will Smith, and
excuse you, same wheelhouse, homie. Sorry to break it to you.
What? No, but the thing is that they cut Will Smith's part.
Well, he quit. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
He didn't want to reprise his role.
Yeah, but I think he didn't want to reprise his role because the role wasn't what he was promised. It's like they said, "Oh yeah, Will Smith, you're going to be."
Well, no, it's a sinking ship. He's like, I already got that Disney money from the Aladdin live action. I don't need to do this anymore. Peace out.
Yeah, okay. I think if they had given his character the depth they should have, instead of trying to make it into the Joker Harley show, he probably would have.
He doesn't like ensemble casting anyway, so it was just any excuse is better than none.
And he wanted
flat out. And if it's not the Will Smith show, he don't want to do it. That's very public knowledge. Don't at me.
And for what it's worth, Harley was the breakout character, and she's got pants in this. So I'm here for.
We'll see how good it does then. We'll see.
Harley and pants, they're leather pants, so it's not like they're still, it's a nice mix of the classic and the new. It's Harley being her own woman, not rejecting her past, but embracing her future.
Movie Harley sucks balls. I don't care.
But for what it's worth, she's like the only one making money over there. So
I wonder why. I'm just saying. It's not really a big reason why. I mean, it's not a question as to why she's the one to break out. That's all. And it is what it is, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. And I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. That's all.
Fair enough.
But then, me and Charlie were just talking. Yeah, did you see the Eternals movie change their name from The Eternals to just Eternals now?
Ooh!
They took the off their name. So who's next? Who's taking the off their name? Into the Night?
They give them all. They feel bad for DC. They're like, you can have all the thuds. It's okay.
Are you paying attention, Ray, host of Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to be Moon Knight. You can't have the anymore.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
Well, I mean, and the the's in the middle of it, so it's when you put it at the front, and then what it does is it screws up your alphabetical order, because some places they count the as the first word, and sometimes they put the at the end.
Yeah, like maniacs.
Yes.
So Eternals
only maniacs and psychos do that.
So Eternals will come before the Suicide Squad and the Batman. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. So in alphabetical,
like I said, only psychos and maniacs use the.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's why it's not the Iron Man. It's just Iron Man.
He was never the Iron Man. He's not
the invincible Iron Man.
He's a fancy man, but not that fancy.
I'm not a fancy man.
Anyway.
Let's talk about this damn dumpster fire of a comic book that everybody's waiting for.
All of fandom is waiting with bated breath for Lilith Hellfire's review of 3 Jokers.
Phil's Comics.
Okay. This is what I have to say. So it's been through a lot of changes.
Strap in, kids.
And I mean a lot. So I don't know if they kept the ending. I know they definitely reworked it because they wanted some kind of Joker war. Not sure if they're trying to make Joker Incorporated or not yet. We'll see by in the issue 2, I think.
Oh, wait. So in the Joker war, are the Jokers at war? Is that what it is?
No. But they wanted like something to build up that Joker tie-in, so they were like, it's just a whole mess.
So they're just trying to rework a 4-year-old story so it runs into their current big story. Okay.
Which is why it was originally ready to go, and then they paused it just, because people were probably thinking like, oh, Joker War, and then 3 Jokers are coming out. I have to read it all to see if it ties in, you see. That's my personal opinion.
You know what bugged me about this? They made
Everything?
They made no artistic. They didn't make any real artistic differentiation
Thank you!
between the three Jokers. You know, it's literally just to where if you were watching this in a movie, you'd say, "Oh, this is some kind of mental thing where he's talking to his three different personalities."
And that's initially what it was supposed to be. Don't know if that's how it's actually going to end. That's all that I'm going to say about that. I'm not sure if that's actually how it's going to end.
But then why would the freaking machine say, "Oh, well, there's actually three Jokers"?
And how did, spoiler alert, Jason Todd shoot one in the head at the end of this?
And okay, why are we ruining? Okay, look, listen. Jason Todd's already had a rough road to go. They did an excellent job with Red Hood, the whole thing, and then that's been going down the toilet slowly. Yeah. And now this. Poor Jason Todd. Can we just have some justice?
Like I was messaging you yesterday, Lilith. I'm like, Jason's not even my favorite Robin, and it's like they really did him dirty. They really did him dirty in this book. You know, it's one thing to have him beaten to death by the Joker, but now in this story, it's basically like what he did, basically everything but offer sexual favors to the Joker, not to kill him. It's just like, oh, you
and
want
he would have just said you're not Batman, so no thanks. But it does make like a quote unquote interesting twist. You did become my Robin. Ha ha ha. Is it a mind messing moment? Or is it true?
So basically my big guess on this, especially because they kept on revealing all the different like people with the Joker thing, is that this is just Batman Beyond Return of the Joker.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
done more poorly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of people. And they're all like a slightly different Joker. And that's what the chairman is like. Well, at the moment, there actually are three different people with that who are using the Joker alias right now. But yeah, it's really just a franchise at this point where the Joker just, you know.
And doesn't that just sum up DC as a whole at that point? Is it secretly meta commentary? I don't think he's that smart. But I will say, I like Jason Fabok's art, but like, did he have to totally like the 9-panel style to give the Doomsday Clock vibe and the classic Watchmen vibe? Like, you could have just done something a little bit different.
Unless he was under orders, I don't know.
This was his choice as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it feels just wholly unoriginal when you do that. Like, yeah, it's cool, you've got the Easter eggs, but here's my thing with their whole continuity mashup. Either everything counts or nothing counts. And the way they're trying to make everything count makes my head hurt.
Tristan, what was your theory on the three Jokers?
All three Jokers were victims of the original Joker, and since the gas made them insane, they took the mantle of Joker.
So, what if the three Jokers were actually victims of the original Joker, who did die, you will recall? And that's how he actually comes back, is that it's the three Jokers are the actual victims of him who were turned into Jokers by the original Joker.
I feel like we did that before, but
I was gonna say, DC's in trouble if children are coming up with better storylines than their professionals over there.
Tristan's good at this, so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
you know what I mean.
It's genetic, but
oh,
I kid. I love you, Charlie.
I'm not a fan.
I can take the hit, but I will say this: DC's definitely in trouble. They fired half their staff.
Oh yeah,
and kept Jim Lee. Okay, Jim Lee is just the next Dan DiDio. Like, okay, y'all heard it here first. You heard it here first. And if you want to start a Twitter beef, it's fine. Y'all can at me on that one. But watch and see.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. My big problem with this story is that, okay, I will buy that the chemicals can like alter the DNA and I don't know, burn off fingerprints, whatever, so you can't identify the Joker and whoever else. But you're telling me, you know, Batman, who they always tout as like the world's greatest detective or one of the world's greatest detectives, and he always figures everything out, hasn't realized for years that he's been dealing with more than one Joker.
But it seems like they've kind of divvied it up so they only specifically deal, like, I guess that's how they're trying to justify it.
What? So one of them only dealt with Batman, one only dealt with, like, Jason?
Exactly.
And also, just as a point, everything he says in that is completely wrong. Where he says, like, oh, the jaws would have cracked, and that's why you wouldn't be able to identify the dental record. It's like, no.
That's not how that works.
No.
Yeah, you can put it back together. You just take out the jaw, you put it back together. That's what forensic...
Exactly.
Well, look, this is what you do. If you really want to get rid of it, you have to take all the teeth out, chop off all the fingers, chop off all the toes, really disrupt the palm print, just depending on what precinct you got booked at.
Not that
What
Lilith has any experience or has planned this or plot this out in any way, shape, or form. Don't.
I used to write fun murder mysteries,
and
so
don't look
I know a lot.
And don't look for her boyfriends in that backyard.
They're all mulch now, baby doll. They're all mulch now.
She got her sardine oil. She was good.
So, I mean, it is possible, but you have to be very meticulous, very tedious, very vigilant, especially with forensics nowadays. So,
whoa.
Yeah. I mean,
it can be done, though.
Not for nothing, if you wanted people to not be identifiable, all you have to do is just get people
head.
that. Well, I mean, just get people that don't have records to like.
But in Gotham, everybody has a record.
Vagrants.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an odd way to address it, to say that, this is why we can't identify them, which is also just sort of.
He didn't do his research, and he just thought, he just took the comic book fans for granted. We're idiots. We're still buying DC books,
but Lilith,
so we're idiots.
But Lilith, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have Batman, the world's greatest detective, and who's these jokers? I have no idea.
They've had Batman not be as OP lately, to the brand's detriment, as far as I'm concerned.
I think
here's one thing I got to say on that. Okay. He's the world's greatest detective. Do you really think the world's greatest detective is going to say it can't be done and just walk away? I mean, that to me is
the part. That Catwoman waiting on you in the bedroom with the whip, maybe.
Well, but then why is he even doing this? It's like,
he's old. It's time for him to retire. Just give Dick Grayson the damn cape and cowl.
Amen. But no,
he doesn't want it, man. He's never wanted it. He's his own man.
And again,
no. That's his deep secret shame, is that he definitely wants the Batman cowl, cape and cowl. He wants it.
And again, Dick wants it anyway. But
Dick wants what Dick wants. Okay, there you go.
There's my drop. But no, I mean, there's been stories where Batman's like, "Oh yeah, I've looked into this for years and can't figure out who he is." Again, it's like, you can't have it both ways.
Meanwhile, we have Batman. What was that? The grave or whatever.
Batman's grave. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what kind of message are you sending here? It's very mixed messages.
All right.
Well,
so Lilith, all right. I was confused. So Lilith, you're telling me, so like, say the Killing Joke story, because they reference this in here. So
yes.
There's one Joker shoots Barbara, but then the Joker Batman encounters at the end of the story is another Joker.
Is his Joker. That's the way that I am interpreting that, if they don't absolutely want to make Bruce.
Oh, I thought my head hurt before when I read this. Oh my God. I've been reading this stuff for like 30 years and you're.
It's not that it makes your head hurt. It's just that it's so stupid you don't think somebody would actually do it. And you're mind boggling.
They want this accessible. They want this accessible to new readers. I mean, I'm barely comprehending it. And like I said, I'm 30 years in. I mean, come on.
But we're also more attached and more trying to think it through this logically. They're just doing this for poops and giggles.
Well, money.
The sensationalism of it all.
They're whores. They're doing it for money.
To be fair, the idea of the identical twins,
you can still tell identical twins apart. I have many friends.
I know, but I'm saying that there is a trope where it's like, this way they always seem like they're in more than one place at once. That's why they seem like it's so crazy, because there's more than one of them.
Well, Gotham did that too, and they did it better. So,
everyone's done it. Like I said, it's a trope. It has been done many, many times. This isn't a new idea.
Come on, Gotham.
It's just they're sort of retroactively grafting it onto the Joker. That's why the Joker seems so.
DC's Clone Saga, Joker War.
Yeah,
how dare you?
And that's sort of the idea. Like, part of me is wondering, oh man, does he go through mass?
Got a Doom bot. I repeat, there's a Doom bot in the house.
Please kick me in the pants.
Hey, clones or robots would be, I think, a better explanation than what we got here. If we even got an explanation here.
Well, I don't think we've got an explanation yet.
We don't, and we're not. And spoilers, we might not have one by the end of book 3. We'll see.
Then what's the point of this series if you're not
going to take Doomsday Clock to come out? And what did it really change? That's my whole point.
I mean, they brought the Kents back, but I mean, I'm just like, but 4 years for this book, and then you're not going to explain the whole Three Jokers thing that they...
And now we know why DC brand is in trouble. Like, it's all coming together. It's all making sense. They just need a firm hand.
They're dragging it out like Bendis. Jeez.
By the way, speaking of DC, I do have a question for you guys here, because I did get a DC book.
And Justice League Dark, I don't know. I don't know her.
No, not that. I mean, it's fine.
Little Philly slept with her once.
No, because there's a Superman ad in here.
Oh, okay.
And it says the House of Kent, and you got your Superman here, and you got your what I'm assuming is Jonathan Kent here, and Supergirl, and then there's a fourth Super Kent. Who's the fourth Super Kent?
That's Connor Kent, the one with the leather jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait, is he like, so he's a Kent now. So he's like, actually, okay.
Well,
He's always kind of technically been a Kent.
I popped out from the previous continuity.
Well, no, I know
that
when
destroyed everything.
I know when they did the TV show, they did that. I didn't know if they did that in the comic books, too, so.
It's one of those rare instances where they actually paid attention to the comic books. I know it's crazy.
Oh, wow, so it was in the comic book before it was in the TV. Like, I know Connor Kent the clone was in continuity, but like the idea of Connor Kent being Jonathan Kent's brother, is that in the comic books? Because I know that's something that
he's
supposedly doing in Supergirl.
No.
I don't really watch it. I just heard like, oh, both of our sons.
Well,
the new Superman show. They're trying to have their cake and
in Superman
too.
and Lois.
And I think that's what this is all about too.
And Superman,
that's why that came about.
Yeah, and Superman and Lois show they're going to be doing that. But no, he's still Connor's still the clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. Again, he's literally
my favorite thing.
Yeah, he's literally from the other continuity. You know, it's basically like, why doesn't anyone remember me? But people are starting to remember him.
Because you suck.
Well, some people are starting to remember him.
The only good thing about him is his conception.
Okay. Hey, and everyone, remember when Entertainment Weekly called Superman Superhero of the Year, and they're still plastering it out on every cover of every Superman book.
Let it go. Hit the button, Phil.
I know. Who are they?
When we see Superhero of the Year?
I don't know. Entertainment Weekly said it at some point, and they've been plastering it on every cover of Superman in Action Comics since then. So,
like which year?
Well, they bought
2020?
They bought that.
The year you want to be the Superhero of the Year. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, not Book of the Year, not Writer of the Year, Superhero of the Year. Yes.
Had nothing to do with you, sir. Nothing. Hashtag I said it.
I will say this
about
Justice League Dark, which is awesome and a great book. You should definitely read it. Their last hope is Detective Chimp.
As it should be, to be honest.
As it should.
And honestly, I feel like they made Detective Chimp more of a prominent figure because of freaking Umbrella Academy. They were just hoping to sucker somebody in.
Hey, you know what? I'll give you this much. I love Detective Chimp in it, so they wrote him. He's probably one of the best written characters in it.
Well, that's
him and the Man-Bat really are just about the best characters in it. The Man-Bat is amazing in it. Oh, and Man-Bat, hey, this is neat. You can still smoke in the DC universe.
Because everybody's secretly a villain.
Well,
that's why they don't have iPhones.
But like when Man-Bat is like talking to Swamp Thing, and there's like this whole there's this whole like the whole secret like heisting of magic, the magic heist basically, I guess we'll call it, because there's like a bunch of double crosses that we never saw, and he comes up and there's our Man-Bat smoking a stogie. Smoke the doobie.
Constantine is a bad influence.
Yeah, but
save that drop for Legends of the Arrowverse, though.
What did you say?
But he's cool.
Constantine is a bad influence.
Well, Constantine runs into his own problems here at the end, because when Detective Chimp finds him, he's hanging upside down with a bunch of tarot cards on his face. You know, you never might want to be caught in that situation.
Don't kink shame him.
I'm not kink shaming him. I'm just saying you don't want to be caught like that, because, you know.
That could be part of your thing, which is kind of gross.
Yeah, you know. It is John Constantine, so maybe.
Exactly. You never know with that guy.
Oh my God. Yeah, John Constantine Hellblazer, what was that? Number 9 came out this week. I mean, that's not
so bad for fans. Like,
that is
terrible.
Oh yeah, it is Black Label. 17 plus book, kids. Trust me, they're talking about horse semen in that book. So yeah, 17 and up, kids.
You know, honestly, I feel so bad for Vertigo because, you know, it's going away and getting absorbed into the whole Black Label thing. It's not going to be its own thing anymore to a detriment. I feel like Virgo is definitely one of those prestige brands that you shouldn't absorb into anything else, but that's just me. What do I know? Because Books of Magic number 22 was really good too. That came out via Vertigo. I feel like they definitely have like that dark magic sorcery kind of vibe, and they do really well, whereas the main continuity DC books can't really pull that off consistently.
Do you want to know what my indie book was this week?
Ooh!
I always get one indie book a week, at least I try to.
Thanks.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Ooh, based on the card?
Based on what now?
Based on the RPG?
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. Yeah, the game I played in the 90s. So it's now in comic book form from a company called Vault. I don't know if it's owned by White Wolf or they licensed it from White Wolf, but it's a really great thing.
Yeah, it's licensed from White Wolf.
If you've ever played Vampire the Masquerade, this reads really well. It gives you a lot of great... If you've never played Vampire the Masquerade, it gives you a lot of detail about vampire society. It might be dense if you've never played Vampire, but I think if you're used to something that gives a nice little lore, or that doesn't give you a lore dump, but gives you Easter eggs that'll come up later, I think it could be a lot of fun for you. There are two tales. The first is Winter's Teeth, which follows our leader, or our person here, Caprice, who is an ex-Bruja anarch who has joined the Camarilla, which is the group of the power brokers in the vampire community. This does clearly suffer from what I like to think of as the constant problem we had with most times we played this whenever we tried to build a city in Vampire, which is that officially, at least when we were playing it, it was like you can have one vampire for every 100,000 people, or actually I even think at one point it was like one vampire for every 1,000,000 people, and you just could not have enough vampires. You couldn't have enough characters in your group and then NPC vampires in most cities because you just couldn't do it. They've obviously changed that because there are like just 10 vampires in this, and it's like you don't have that many people in.
Yeah, there was like that update they did, probably like what was it, like 95, 96 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean they've done a lot of updates. I mean it's like I said, they have had to nerf celerity real hard because it was weird. I actually saw a first edition Vampire the Masquerade book, and celerity was somehow even more OP in the first one. It was crazy. So, but it's really good. There's two tales. There's Winter's Teeth, and then there's the Anarch's
When did that come out? I didn't see that on the Vault list for this week. Was that last week?
That might have been last week. Because I only had one book that was my book this week, which was Justice League Dark, and then I got to do my pulls on everything else, which was fun. Me and Phil will probably talk our Marvel books.
Super connectivity. Yeah. Hey, that's Vampire the Masquerade. Is that like a one shot or is that like an ongoing?
No, it's an ongoing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if you are a real gaming nerd, yeah, because they end both the things, and there is like,
Did they come out with a new edition to tie this into or something? Or
I'm not sure. Well, this is because it has the role playing supplement where they give you the character sheets for our two main characters, Cecily Bain.
So you gotta collect all the books to get all the. I see what you're doing.
Colleen Pendergrass. Yeah, actually, one of my favorite characters in this. He's a Nosferatu by the name of Rat King, who seems very cool. He's this guy here. He's got like little rat teeth, and he's a Nosferatu. He's cool. But anyway, she's the like den mother of her little group of anarchs, and it's a lot of fun. She's a thin blood, which is her bloodline, but she also is kind of immune to sunlight, which makes it like kind of cool. And then this person, because there's also a group of hunters, and this person. So spoilers. So pause for a minute or mute it for a minute. This person, Alessandra. She seems like just a random caitiff, abandoned vampire. But we see at the end, she's got her stake on her. And we also see at the end of the Anarch's tale, there's some people following our Anarchs who also got stakes in their cars. I'm trying to see if I can find the page here where you see that. Yeah, right here you see this guy in this corner who's going to go follow them to Minneapolis. See, he's got the same kind of curved hammer thing there. So, Vampire the Masquerade, number 1. Really? I was really surprised because I look at his weight. Vampire the Masquerade? What? My nerd heart pitters. So,
hey, Lil,
that was good.
Lil, can I do a plug here?
No, I want to talk about, well, maybe this is something we should say for our Star Trek Patreon, but there is a Star Trek Hell's Mirror number 1 that IDW just came out with, and it is written by J.M. DeMatteis. So, I don't know if you guys are interested, but I thought it was good.
What is Hell's Mirror? Does that take place in the Mirror Universe? You know, I love the Mirror Universe.
He's taking on, like, there's 2 stories. There's a story about Khan, and then there's a story about the Mirror Universe.
Oh, okay. Ooh, man, I wonder what Khan is like in the Mirror Universe. He's actually just a really nice guy. He's like,
but yeah, that came out today, and since he's a friend of the show, I thought I might mention it. I haven't finished reading it all the way because I was streaming movies all day today. So,
is it a digital only book?
No, you can pick it up at your store.
Oh, because you said it came out today. So,
well, no.
Okay.
This week.
Well, no, I was going to shout out. I was going to shout out an indie creator, Lil Hellfire. That was going to be my plug. No, after Vampire the Masquerade, I was going to say if you want to support an indie content creator and you like vampires, go check out Will Allred's Diary of Night.
Ah, yes. Scroll way down for a review we did.
Yeah, we did that on Early Comic Capers. But yeah, I mean, I think it's diaryofnight.com or just follow Will on at Wallred on Twitter because that's another good vampire story. Wasn't gonna plug myself for once, Lil. Come on.
No, you plug everybody on our network pretty well.
Hello.
I just give you grief. Nobody tell Rob.
Like he's listening.
So yeah, we will. Don't worry, guys. I'm not giving up on the Spider books. That's something me and Phil are going to discuss on the next Ultimate Spider Cast.
Yeah,
because it was a jam-packed Spider week this week. Let me tell you.
Oh,
it was like 4 books, right?
I think I might.
Amazing, Spider Noir, Spider-Man Noir, and
Ghost Spider.
Yep.
The final issue of Ghost Spider.
Can I get an F in the comments, y'all? Let me get an F in the comments first.
So let's keep track. We've canceled Black Cat, Amazing Mary Jane, and now Ghost Spider.
Marvel hate women?
Spider women?
Maybe I'll write that blog post.
Well, they do have a Spider Woman book going right now, which go check out To Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider Woman podcast. That I think it went up today. Ray and Saren talked to the writer of that, Carla. Was it Paccio? It's a really great.
Oh, nice.
It's a really good interview. Yeah, but so is that the thing? That's what I was telling you before. Is Marvel like, oh, we can only have so many female character led books, or?
Because Black Cat is like, hello, that book was that deal. I don't know what they were thinking. I really thought Mary Jane had a lot of promise, especially like whereas Lois Lane over on the DC side was doing really well. I felt like that's what they were inspired by, and Lois Lane is still going. So,
well, I mean, okay. One thing I'll say, villain books always have a hard time running for a while because obviously if you're a villain, you're going to have a hard time constantly being a villain without...
Well, she was leaning more into the anti-hero side of things too.
Yeah, I think they were trying to lead into the cat.
She was getting very Deadpoolish, to be honest.
Who Black Cat?
Especially with all the guest stars and stuff.
Mary Jane.
Yeah, I mean, I loved her crew. I mean, I will say, like, half the fun of Black Cat was her crew, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I think they were leaning into that.
Especially her science guy.
Well, that's how you know Sony might actually be doing a Black Cat movie because Marvel's like, you know what? Nope.
I mean, I think they were leaning into that that Catwoman vibe, and I mean, and Catwoman's had 24 issues so far, and 25's coming out soon. So I mean, it's somewhat viable.
It's an interesting choice.
I think Catwoman has a bit more legacy.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas, Black Cat is literally a knockoff character.
At Charlie Esser.
Yeah, please. It's
that Felicia.
Oh!
But, yeah.
Girl,
but they do have She-Hulk coming back out. So, there are female books coming. A lot of these books, a lot of Marvel.
But it's really cutting down that new fandom that they were building with the young girls. I did notice on Twitter and Instagram and on Tumblr they were really filling those books, and now a lot of them feel really disheartened. And they're back to their Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn fix. So
yeah, well, I mean, I mean, it is. I mean, like I said, I don't know what their numbers are. I don't know what the creative. No, it's also for what it's worth. Sometimes creatives can get burnt out, and maybe nobody has a new story to tell. That is always a problem whenever you're writing stories. It's like, you know, well, no, I told this story.
That's the lovely thing about comic books. You just get a new writer. I mean, please don't do another new number one, but just get a new writer.
Exactly.
You know, but I mean, that's the thing is, do you want someone to take it over who's just going to be, you know, a journeyman on it? It's like, yeah, you know, I don't have a story, but I'll wing it. You want me to rewrite it, you know, and just riff the whole thing? It's let's steal something from Dr.
To be fair, some books have done that and have come out pretty good, but on the other hand, some books have done that and turned pretty poopy. Looking at all the Harley Quinn books. Fight me.
And then again, you also have this whole thing coming out of COVID, and whatever hits came from that to the industry. And, you know, I mean, I was surprised to realize, we'll talk about this on this is like the last issue of Forceworks.
Yeah, it was only going to be a miniseries, yeah.
Was it only supposed to be 3 issues?
Yeah, because the Iron Man 2020 thing's over because Iron Man 2020 number 6 came out.
IGN said was the worst event of 2020.
I mean, you know it was bad when no other Marvel book even like referenced it, because like Arno Stark was the Iron Man in this. Every other book, Avengers, anywhere else he appeared, Tony Stark was Iron Man. They didn't slow down for Iron Man 2020.
Get out of here, Arno's. Beat it, buddy.
And the last issue of that came out.
The
last issue of that came out this week, and the new creative team comes on with a new number 1 soon. So yeah.
Woo!
See you later, Bunky.
Patsy Walker's in it.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the whole reason I'm getting it. I was debating it.
Sing the song, Charlie. Sing it. I get it.
It's Patsy. It's Patsy. She really wants to be your friend. We hope the good times never end. It's Patsy. It's Patsy. She really wants to be your friend.
Thank you.
Or you do the hard rock version, which is, it's Patsy. It's Patsy. She really wants to be your friend. We hope the good times never end.
Editing that so much.
I love that, and man, I so want those characters back. I want my Thunderbolts with Patsy Walker. She's at the raft.
Yeah, still a Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking we need a meme with all the Netflix characters, and it's like bring them back, and it's
can we come home?
Except on the picture, except on the picture of Iron Fist and put not you.
Yeah, well, they do that, you know.
No, he can. Luke Cage can. You know, we'll let the black man take care of Luke.
Yeah, you can. Like I said, I think Iron Fist works fine when he's partnered with Luke Cage.
He doesn't deserve a solo show.
He needs better writing. Oh yeah, they should have. They could do a Heroes for Hire show. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he's going to show up in the Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
And I hope they beat him up like Moon Knight beat him up.
Oh! You had somebody at Moon Knight.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. You know, we will see what happens. There could be any number of interesting stories that happen with all of it, and it'll be cool.
But yeah, no. Lil said there was a lot of Spider-Man books. Did anyone see the Batman books? 3 Jokers, Red Hood, Batgirl, Detective Comics, Batman, Superman, all out this week.
Well, he's still selling very well.
Oh, really? You think?
As I understand it. From what you guys tell me.
It's what DC tells us, to be honest. I'm not so sure anymore.
If they carve down their
it's just for the t-shirts at this point.
If they carve down their line to just one character, you know who'd come out, right?
Batman.
That whole corner.
I mean, honestly, if they just condensed everything and made it a Trinity book and everybody had a story, or just in a Justice League backup, you're done. You're done. That way you can have the rotating See, I just fixed your problem, DC. You can do that. You can do it. Absolutely. Free of charge.
Lilith will fix it, because Lilith fixes everything.
I'd get rid of Jim Lee. I know that much. As a creative director. I mean, he's a great creative, but as a creative director, next Dan Dido, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. Great artist.
He needs a lot of people to temper that. I'm just saying. You can at me on Twitter. It's fine. I'm a big girl.
Lilith, did you read Red Hood?
No.
Dick Grayson beats the crap out of Jason Todd. Go read it.
Good. Did he spank him?
Whoa! No, that's your fanfic we have to read, remember?
Oh my god, yes. I cannot wait because I just got a new Rogue action figure. For the fans, specifically for our fan fiction theater, since we do have a Patreon. We threatened it and we're gonna do it.
Are we doing that for Patreon? I was gonna say we could throw that on a Wade's World or something, but
we'll do like the first 5 minutes on Wade's World and then
to be continued on
Patreon.
To be continued on Patreon. Yes.
Because they demanded it.
Lilith wants to do
no, because we threatened it.
Lilith wants to do dirty.
That's more Wade's World style.
So really, because Lilith demanded it.
Yes. Why do you think we're getting Shocktober? I mean, Lilith wants to do.
To make up for July. July was a rough month for me, so we're getting Shocktober.
Lilith wants to do dirty action
Gobble,
figure theater.
gobble, gobble, electric boogaloo.
Gobble, gobble.
The end of the year is going to be
Unlimited
fun on our
there.
podcast.
What, Lilith?
I said the end of the year is going to be fun on our podcast, at least.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for a big live read of Ultimate Spider-Cast 100.
Woohoo! We did it, guys! We made it! But on that note, do you have any more? Let's start our plugs so you guys can do some super connectivity.
And Lilith is sobering up. Anyway,
No, I've got like 2 more drinks. Don't worry about it.
All right, so everyone, 3 Jokers, New Mutants, send us your thoughts on all of this. Send your thoughts on anything. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow us on all social media. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Go subscribe to Patreon. We just gave you a free taste of our Star Trek show. It's up on YouTube. It's hitting the podcast. Well, by the time this hits the podcast in a few days. And links to everything, including merch. That's at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support the sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. Volume 1, Volume 2 is coming soon. And when you go on Amazon and buy all your goodies, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Doesn't affect you at all, but helps us support this show, the Southgate Media Group Network, and that crazy man. He doesn't need 3 of them, only one of him, Rob at Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain. What did you say? So says Master Doom. Nice mustache, Charlie.
Lilith Hellfire.
I want to say that while I did stream some movies today, I did actually buy Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music over on Amazon. So you can rent it for $20 or you can own it for $25. I own it. I love Keanu Reeves, and give Alex Winter some damn money, please. But if you guys want to talk about any of the stuff that I talked about, or you just want to add me on Twitter, you find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, or on Instagram with the cool kids and the hip grandparents at Lilith Hellfire 86 or at Lilith Hellfire 69.
Suck it, Lilith.
Right back at you, Kona.
You had your chance last night. Charlie Esser.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way that where Oz and Possible instead, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet something. Something's coming soon, I'm sure, somewhere for me to live tweet, which we might talk about on Superconnectivity in a few moments.
Indeed.
At Charlie Esser.
Look for 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Thank you, Tristan, and thank you, Maz. Could you hear any of that, just out of curiosity?
Yes, you heard it perfectly.
Great.
Look at it, he's so fancy, he doesn't even have to sing his own damn jingle.
Boy!
I'm getting jealous.
Boy, do the
dogs some new tricks now.
Boy, do the plugs. Yeah, you're gonna have those dogs bark your plugs, Lilith.
Anyway.
That's the Christmas special.
Yes, do it. Anyway, for another week, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics! Or singular. Y'all know who the lunatic is. It's fine.
The comic book and pop culture podcast.
Well, we are lunatics, so I'll allow it.
The.
Angle's wrong for that. That's the only problem.
Oh, whoa.
This is the church. This is the steeple.
Is 2020 over yet?
4 more months. Not even to the end of fiscal 2020 yet.
And on
That was too much adult.
And on that cheery note, good night, everyone.